talk about a national letdown.
Zita. Councillor De Rocha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is my opinion that JMPD department is a failing department. We can look at it any way we want, but that is the reality. Evidence on the ground clearly does indicate that my statement is not far from the truth. I feel that these reports that we are constantly getting are box-ticking exercises, just a KPI to be met. Not that they are being met anyway, but nevertheless, it is exactly what it is. The department sets targets for themselves. I really do not see the point of setting your own targets. Now the targets are met, so now let's go home, let's take a break, let's go have a braai. Let's not go early and go home. No, Mr. Speaker. Let's go out into the streets of Johannesburg and measure JMPD for what it really is. I ask this council, is it fair, Mr. Speaker? Is it fair that this department has allowed the whole city to fall into decay? Is it fair that the inner city is empty because businesses like the Joburg Stock Exchange has left the area because of the state of the inner city in relation to crime and grime? Is it fair that the landmark like the Carlton Centre is no longer a five-star hotel because of the lawlessness of the inner city? Is it fair that the Johannesburg Sun has closed down for years because of the slime and grime of the area? This is just 3 examples of how the city has deteriorated. Yes, we must blame all the relevant departments, no doubt. Yet the most important ingredient in the soup is JMPD. Mr. Speaker, this report speaks about 7 priorities. A city that gets things done. Where, Mr. Speaker? Where are the things getting done? I spent a fortune on eyeglasses thinking that I was going blind, yet when I put my glasses on, I could see the lack of law enforcement even further down the road. There is nothing getting done, Mr. Speaker. A safe and secure city. Where, Mr. Speaker, there does not go a day by that I do not hear about one tragedy or another happening in the city of Johannesburg. Let's look at Yeovil, Ward 67 and 66 Rocky Street. It's full of drug dealers. It is that street that one cannot walk 10 meters without getting mugged or a cell phone stolen. Hillbrow, Rosettenville, Jeppestown area. And I could gladly carry on if I had the time, Mr. Speaker. A caring city. Where, Mr. Speaker, does this city and this department care? Who do you exactly care for? Do you care for its law-abiding citizens? Do you care for the victims of crime and grime? Do you care for businesses that employ hundreds of thousands of people? Do you really care? Does this Department of Public Safety really care? The only caring I see is for the lawbreakers, the vandals, the dumpers, the jaywalkers, the drug dealers. Again, I could carry on, but I would not have the time, Mr. Speaker. A business-friendly city. Where is this city and this department a business-friendly city? Can we really say that? Is allowing 5-star hotels to close down due to crime and grime and lawlessness to be considered a business-friendly city? Could we really say that allowing people to totally occupy pavements and illegally trade is a business-friendly city? No, Mr. Speaker. Creating well-run and well-managed markets without corruption would be considered a business-friendly city, Mr. Speaker. An inclusive city. Mr. Speaker, what is inclusive? What is an inclusive city? Wouldn't we agree that an inclusive city would be to see people of all classes safely walking down the streets of the city and suburbs, eating exotic foods, buying cultural clothing without fear of getting robbed, mugged, and killed for their cell phones? If I am wrong, then please give me the meaning of an inclusive city, Mr. Speaker. A well-run city. Really, Mr. Speaker, where? Exactly where is the city being well-run? Or where is JMPD running their departments well? Has anyone taken note of the state of this city on the way to council? With all the broken bylaws and the crime that has enveloped this city, this once great city of Southern Africa. Mr. Speaker and colleagues, and Mr. Mayor, are you people embarrassed to be running the city in this state? Well, I am embarrassed, but I'm hoping that someday, during my term or after my term, this will change. A smart city. Mr. Speaker, is this a joke? This is the joke of the century, I swear. A smart city, exactly what is smart about dismantling a CCTV system that was working perfectly and spending hundreds of millions of rands to take the CCTV camera system back into the Stone Age? So, Mr. Speaker and colleagues, no, there is nothing smart about destroying a system that prevented crime in so many different ways. We asked the victims of crime how they feel about a smart city when they find out the truth of the so-called smart operating system called the IIoC system run by JMPD. Mr. Speaker, do you still believe that Johannesburg JMPD, the Public Safety Department, are smart? This report talks about land invasions. 1,677 shacks and structures were removed. Does the department expect a standing ovation for this? Speaker, what about the other thousands that are still there? What about the massive informal camps that mushroomed without any interference across parts of Johannesburg? What about the squalor that people are living in because of uncontrolled informal settlements? And why and how can a department say that they have reached the KPIs when there are many more illegal structures in public parks, in private and government lands that are not getting removed? Victory and success is not measured when 20 legal structures were removed, yet hundreds remain. Victory and success is only considered a success when all structures are removed and law enforcement prevails. This Department of Public Safety, Mr. Speaker, must stop patting themselves on the back like little children in a primary school for taking their first steps and not finishing the job. They must only pat themselves on the back when they succeed in controlling the lawlessness that has taken over the city of Johannesburg. The reality is that this department is and have been failing from as long as I have been a councillor in this chamber, going for 12 years. Mr. Speaker, I have been in this committee for 3 terms with the hopes that things could change. But I doubt it very much, and I say this because there is no willpower in the department. Officials in the department are disgruntled. Officers are not getting promoted within the ranks. Directors are all in active positions. The chief of police is in active position.
Your time has expired. Thank you. Can I please ask protocol just to check on our councillors in as far as they are